Hopefully, I'm live and everything is going well. I'm using my new Lumina camera, or Lumina is how Michelle Cunningham calls it. OMG. It is so cool. It took me a minute to figure out the software, but let me show you the stuff I can do. Okay. Like, this is crazy. Okay. So, like, I can decide all the, stuff like camera stuff that I don't understand, like exposure, brightness, warmth, and all that stuff. But what's happening now is that I have on like the cameraman feature so that as I move, the AI aspect of this is following me and adjusting the focus. So that's really cool, especially if you're like walking around or something. And let me show you how I can frame it differently. Like, you can decide if you want it to frame your head like down low, in the middle, or up the top. If you want them to see, if you want to be pulled really close in, or if you want people to see, more of your background. It's super de-duper cool. And then the background, I guess if the background is blurred, then people are looking just at you, which is a good thing. And you can, ramp up or take away the amount of blur. So that's so freaking cool. And then, okay, person sharpness. So, like, I have my sharpness turned down. Okay, watch this. All right. So if it goes down, 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 my wrinkles are gone. When it goes up, here come the wrinkles. Here they come. There they are. So that's really cool. So I do about a third of the way. I want to be realistic, but not all the way. So that's so cool. And it comes with like this color card thing that you put up next to your face, and it does all this cool stuff digitally to like basically make everything look good with your face, like your complexion and stuff. Like, what? So anyway, I'm fitting to give one of those away. A Lumina webcam. It has AI, and you have to be in my Boss Babe Elite group in order to be part of that giveaway. So let me know if you are interested in more information. Okay, so I want to talk about how I get ideas for content. And it's an excellent question. Someone asked me that today, and I thought, instead of spending time just answering just her personally, boy, I don't know if that's good or bad, because I do move around a lot. Instead of just answering her personally, that I would put it in a video so that lots of people can benefit. Because that is the thing, isn't it? Is that we're wanting to come up with something that is relevant and creative and interesting. And it's not easy, especially if you're trying to post every single day. So there are, different thoughts to that. And before I even show you my top 5, something that you can do is purchase a content calendar. They sell them on Etsy for sure. Where else? I don't know. But like, if you just Google content calendar and see who has it for sale, like, people will just create ideas. And sometimes even the company that you work with, if you're in direct sales or network marketing, they'll provide something for you. And it's something really simple, like, day 1, talk about your weekend. Day 2, post a motivational quote. Day 3, that kind of thing. But when I think of content, I think of something a little meatier, something that is like specifically has to do with my field, something that I'm going to train on, or something that is going to be a feature video. And the way that I come up with those ideas are as follows. I'm going to start with the one I use least and lead up to the one I use most. So the 5th in line, if I can make that come up, is a Google magazine search. And this was taught to me by Tanya Eliza. In the Google search bar, you put whatever your niche is, and then put the word magazine, and then the month and the year. So for me, I might put something like Beauty Over 40 magazine, May 2023. And it's going to pull up the current issues of magazines that fall into that category. And then you click on images. And so you're looking at all the covers of those magazines. And it's getting less and less, but for years it was, when you were in the line at the grocery store and you were looking at the covers of magazines, it would pull you to them because they had very intriguing titles and articles and pictures. And So magazines really have it down to, how the eye buys. And if you look at the different article titles, it's not only letting you know what people are interested in right now in this day and age, but also how to word it. It's teaching you how to express it in such a way that is going to grab people's attention. So it's giving you ideas for content, but it's also telling you how to package it, really. So that's a great, great way to do it. My fourth best way, and kind of new, is ChatGPT. Like, I can't even stinking believe all the stuff that can do. But you can really, and just play with it. You might have to tweak exactly what you say, but there's one, what is it? There's one that I can use on my phone where instead of typing it, I can just tell it, and that's even easier. Chat on. So CHATON. That's even easier because texting is not my friend. But so I will just say something like, give me 5 topics for 20-minute educational videos for women over 50 who are interested in skincare and beauty tips. Make sure that it is on trend and that you use lots of keywords and that it is up to date for May 2023. Give me ideas in English only, something like that. And it just spits it out. Like it's crazy how fast and how well it does. I mean, it's like it just I sound like a fool because everybody else has known about this AI stuff forever. I mean, I knew it existed, but it never, I heard people using it for their business, and I just thought, well, those are cheaters. You're supposed to be writing this stuff up yourself. But I don't know, somewhere along the lines, somebody showed me how they were using it, and I was like, that is going to save so much time. And so you can use that as a vehicle, but still make sure that you're quality checking and putting your own personality into it and stuff. So anyway, Chat GPT or something of that nature. Okay. So the fourth way that I do it is I follow others in my field. And typically, I mean, I'm sure there are exceptions, but for the most part, if you save a picture that somebody posts on social media and you share it again, they don't mind that. And even if, so let's say I make something and it's got a pink background and it's a quote or something, and then I have michellefoxonline.com written at the bottom, and somebody copies it and reshares it, that is benefiting both of us because it's giving them something fresh to share, but then it's also promoting my blog. So for sure, uh, follow the people that you respect in your field. And when you see something that you really like, save it. And if you don't want to share that specifically, you can use that to inspire you to create your own. Just go right into Canva. Canva is amazing. Go into Canva and make something just like it. And as far as like the Chat GPT thing goes, you can ask Chat GPT for 30 pieces of content for Instagram and make all of that in one fell swoop and schedule it. Use a scheduling app. So only one day a month you're working on that. It's like mind boggling. Can you imagine talking to people in sales 25 years ago and saying, explaining to them or trying to explain the things that we have available to us today, they would just be like, what? That's not possible. It's crazy. I also, I constantly teach myself. And so I listen to podcasts and I watch videos on YouTube. I've got 2 or 3 people that I love to listen to. And any chance that I get, when I'm doing the dishes, when I'm putting on my makeup, any time where there's any silence, when other people are listening to music, I'm listening to some kind of training. And usually it's something that I already kind of know. And so I'm thinking, oh, that's so good. And then as I hear something that's like, oh, I never knew about that app, I'll jot that down. And then I'll come back to my niche, to my tribe, and I'll give it my spin and say, hey, I just learned this, or I just was reminded of this. And I know that it's fresh because somebody that's even, more advanced, more successful has recently produced it. and I know it's relevant, and I know that I learned something. And so chances are that the people that want to hear from me are going to learn something as well. You know what I mean? So, these are so simple and obvious, but this is how I do it. And the biggest one, which you might feel like, this doesn't apply to you yet. Remember, it's yet. Okay. But it's answering the questions that my audience is asking. Every time that I put content out there, I'll have questions in the comments. And instead of just answering them and calling it good, I make a note of it. If somebody's asking me a question, odds are lots of people are wondering that as well. And that is just an excellent way to go about it. I'll put out a video about, doing an online party or something. And then somebody will say, "Well, but do you send samples in the mail? Or how do you decide if you send samples in the mail, or do you charge for sending samples in the mail?" Something like that. And I think, that's a tricky issue. That's something that should be addressed. I'll do a whole video on that. And then people love it because it's so true that the one that speaks up is usually speaking for the crowd. Not everybody is comfortable making a comment, asking a question. So those that do are usually kind of representing for other people. Whoa, that's so wacky. Whoa. Yeah, I might have to. There's an option where you can stabilize it. I might have to do that because I'm a little unstable. So anyway, so that would be like the number one thing that I do. So pretty simple ideas, I know, but the thing is that you've got to, either pick one or two that speaks to you and do that regularly. But another thing that I do is I've got notebooks all over the place, and as soon as I think of something, I jot it down, because you might assume you'll remember, but then it comes time to create a short video or a long video or a post or whatever, and you're like, oh, I just don't have any fresh ideas. So if you've got that list, that's so much better. And something that I recently started doing is I have my calendar done for the whole month, and I'm not just talking like Instagram post ideas, but like every day I say, okay, this is the day that I film my YouTube video. This is the day that my blog drops. This is the day that I make sure I've got so many shorts ready to go for the week. I've got it all figured out. And then I go back and I give it all titles and topics, and I figure it all out in advance so that I don't have to use that brain energy to decide. I can use that energy to deliver. I can use the energy when I'm behind the camera or on the camera or whatever, on the this, the webcam. So that's my strategy. Yeah, I think that's annoying, isn't it? The back and forth thing. That's kind of wacky. I've got to get rid of that. So anyway, so those are my thoughts. And if you want to get one of these cameras, which is so stinking cool, I haven't actually decided what we're going to do yet, but it's going to be a giveaway in my Boss Babes Elite. So if you are not in that group, you need to find out how to get there. And it's going to have to do with content creation, but I know we're all at different places. So I don't want to, make it so, put it at a place where people are like, well, I'm not even going to try. So if you have an idea, let me know. But I'm thinking it's going to be something like, whoever consistently posts or consistently creates a video for X number of days or X number of weeks, their name will go in the drawing, something like that. So let me know what you think, what would be a good way, a fair way to do that. So that's all for today. Just super quick, unexpected, but I had that question and wanted to answer it for everybody. Hope you have a great, safe weekend, and I'll see you on Monday. We're going to talk in Boss Babes Elite about building a blog from scratch for free. So I'll see you then.